Hello my dear Photoshop magicians. In this video I will show you how to create this beautiful animation. I will get my drink on tonight. I'm lose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe. First we will start by choosing the right image. Then I will show you how you can edit this in Photoshop and convert it into this beautifully colorful artwork. Wow, how? Even I am still like shocked. How did I do it? Okay, I'm kidding. I know everything. Okay, so anyway, once we are done with Photoshop, we will move to After Effects and actually start animating this guy and adding some bubbles, not bubbles, but a sphere into his head, and also some really cool music and animating the background and all this cool stuff. And it doesn't matter whether you know After Effects or not, because I'm gonna show the general process behind creating the animation. So even if you don't know After Effects, you will still understand the general techniques behind the animation. It took me around 5 to 6 hours to create this, and that's why I cannot show you every single, click, but I will show you the general process. First of all, let's start with this image here and talk about what's right here and what's wrong with this image. Firstly, it's a pretty cool image, it's very clean, it's very smooth, and it's very artistic. I like his look, I like his posture, and also I like this light leaks here. But the problem is that the image is so dark, which means it's going to be really hard to make it brighter, because then the light leaks are gonna get even brighter and it's gonna look not so good. So we'll have to figure a way around it. So it is a beautiful image, but it's not perfect, but I still decided to choose it because I like challenges. So the first thing that I did after importing the image is I went to camera raw filter, because I want to convert this colorful image into a black and white image first. And for that I just decreased saturation to -100, because then, as you can see, it's getting really black and white. And you can also play with contrast and other stuff, highlights and so on, to make the black and white effect that you want, because black and white images can be very different. My next step was to take a colorful version of the image, so a second copy basically, and actually go to filter and neural filters. And the reason why I'm using neural filters is because I want to add to it some kind of pencil effect, like it was sketched on a paper. In case you don't know, neural filters are a new addition to Photoshop 2021, and if you have a pirate version of Photoshop, then most likely it will not work for you. So what you can do in case your Photoshop is older, or for some reason you're using like the pirated version of Photoshop, in that case you can just use some mobile applications, and convert the image, because there are many mobile applications that do the same when it comes to neural filters. For example, Prisma is a good app to convert your images into drawings or paintings. So anyway, here in neural filters, I think I chose this option. I'm not sure, but because there are so many different options, and depending on what you choose, you're always getting different effects. Okay, so it was this one. As you can see, it looks very, very beautiful and so pencil-like. So once you have it, you just have to blend it with the, with the image behind, and maybe decrease opacity to make it not so hard. As you can see, it already goes from this to this. And if I add another black and white effect on top of it, boom, boom, now it looks like it was painted with a pencil or drawn with a pencil, whatever. So, and now we have to animate it back to colors. I know, sounds crazy. Why the hell did we move it to pencil and then we animate it back to colors? Well, there's a reason actually for that. So I will share with you a secret trick. Don't tell anyone, okay? If you tell anyone, I will find you and I will destroy your Photoshop. But listen, my friend. When you have black and white images in Photoshop and then you convert them into colorful images, they actually look so much better. I don't know why, but I just love the colors so much more when this happens. The colors look like really painted. So for example, what I did here, I added HSL effect, which is in filter, other, and here, and boom. I mean, it has many parameters, but I added this one, HSL RGB. So if you play with other ones, then you're going to get different colors, but with these parameters you get this type of colors. And as you can see, it converts your black and white image into beautiful colors. But now these are not the colors that I want. So what you can actually do, you can actually use hue saturation to change its colors. And as you can see, I have this here and I can just change it to any colors that I want to. It looks good. After that, I also change the colors of the hair to make them different, and also change the color of his sweatshirt. And as a cherry on the top, I added a very beautiful holographic image. So let me just show you. This is the image. As you can see, I added it to the background and blended it with the beautiful image, and just like that we converted this image into a beautiful painting. And before we continue, okay, my dear friend, see this, if you want to learn how you can destroy and take over the world with your art skills, then you definitely need to check out learnfromfred.com, which is my website where I teach people how to create beautiful art. So when you go there, I'm gonna ask you, you want to master Photoshop, and you need to choose your path. Are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you a professional? And depending on the path that you choose, you will get different classes that you should take in order to level up. For example, for beginners, it's first of all image editing. You learn Photoshop, how to create cool stuff in Photoshop. Then you learn Photoshop animations, how to create the beautiful animations and animate your images using Photoshop. And then 3D in Photoshop, which is also pretty cool and very unique. Or if you're already intermediate but you want to become a real pro, then I will advise you different classes that will help you to learn new techniques and create beautiful artworks. As you can see, 12 glitch projects in Photoshop, Photoshop liquid glitch effect, and so much more. The cool thing is that I teach not only Photoshop but also After Effects, which means I show you how you can take your artworks from Photoshop and then animate them in After Effects. For example, in this class, I show you how to create a beautiful animation, or in this class, I show you how to create trippy and creepy animation. If you want to see all classes that are available, you can just go to all classes, and you can access all the classes on the website for just $9 for your first month, which is a 50% discount. You can cancel any time, no commitments, my dear friends. If you want to see all classes that are available on the website, just go to all classes. And as you can see here, you can buy classes separately, or again, you can just enroll into membership and access all of the classes together and hug them. I don't know why I said that. And you also, of course, get me as your personal mentor, so that whenever you're sad, I come and sing for you. Okay, I'm kidding, I won't do that, but if you have any questions, you can always message me and I will be there for you. Let's continue. As a next step, I found this beautiful holographic gradient image, and I wanted to add it into the artwork. As you can see, what I did, I put many of these beautiful images here, changed the colors. Afterward, I used mask in order to show them only on specific places and make it so interesting. And as you can see, you probably wonder, well, how do you get these shapes? I mean, did you draw this mask manually? So for example, if I select them so that you can see, did I draw them manually, or were they created automatically because they look so beautiful and chaotic? Well, they were actually created automatically. Let me show you how. I will show it to you on the original picture. So for example, as you can see, this is a picture, and just a little bit brightness to make it brighter. So now this is how it goes. First of all, you need to add a little bit of blur, you know, to make it a little bit blurry. 2 is fine. Next step is to actually make it black and white. And here we go. Ba-boom, ba-boom. After that, we need to actually add a posterize effect, which is a pretty cool effect that makes it look like a poster. And let me just increase levels a little bit, even more. Okay, this should be fine now. Let's click OK. And now if I go to filter, stylize, and find edges, look what's going to happen. Boom! Chicka boom. Now it looks like a map of Greenland. Okay, I'm kidding. I mean, maybe it does, but anyway. You know Greenland, that's the biggest island in the world, right? Right, I think it's the biggest one. Anyway, when you have this, you can actually create really beautiful selections. So for example, if I just select, you know, let's say my magic wand tool, I can just go and do boom, shika boom, make sure this is selected so you can combine your shapes. Boom, this, boom, and as you can see, I can actually select many interessante shapes, which means that I can later use them for masking purposes. So for example, oops, this is too big. So for example, now when I have it, you know, I can just, I don't know, create a new layer, and I can just, let me turn everything off. I can just make it black. And as you can see, now I have here this, and I can use it for masks. And that's exactly what I did with this here. As you can see, boom, it's the same. I just selected it and then I used it as masks for these beautiful holograms. So once you have that, the last step is to add here a little bit of nice black color into the eyes to make it more emotional, you know. It's like if just the eyes are normal, and when the eyes are black, it looks, I don't know, it just looks crazy good. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, and here comes the painful part. Yeah, everything before that was easy, okay? No. So, okay, let me explain this to you, my dear friends, just step by step. Let's start with the background. The way this background was created is just, first of all, obviously it was just the image, right? And then I just used a content aware fill. Here, this one, which helps you to actually fill the space. So for example, if this was I selected the head basically, and then I use content aware fill to fill it, and Photoshop automatically filled it with these beautiful colors. And that's how I got this background, okay? Next, I had to separate the left part of the head from the right part of the head using masks. Just pretty simple if you know how to use masks. If you don't know how to use masks, then you don't know anything about Photoshop, and you definitely need to check out my classes. Afterward, I had to add here this background shape so that I can see the inside of his head. And this is just a very simple shape. It's just a shape that I created, as you can see, using a pen tool. And as you can see, I added gradient to it, this type of gradient, and it looks very nice. And on top of it, to make it look actually more emotional and pointy, I added this beautiful noise effect. So yeah, don't do too much, okay? A little bit is fine. So that looks cool. Next step is this shape here. Again, just another shape that I created in order to have some thickness to his head, because if you don't have this shape here, just look at it, it looks so thin, you know? It's like when we open the head, there needs to be some kind of contour around the edges, some borders. Well, I mean, I have never opened a head, but that's how I think the things are inside there, probably. Mine is just filled with colors and Photoshop hotkeys, but yeah. So after after what I added some shadows. As you can see, we have lots of shadows here, we have shadow here, we have a shadow here, you know, and also we have a shadow here as well behind this. So this is, yeah, as you can see, we have a shadow behind this one as well, to make it more realistic, because I want to put something inside the head. And if you look at the final animation, boom, here you see we have a shadow here which is also on the ball, which makes it look more realistic, oh my dear friends. It makes it look like it's really inside his head. Maybe it is, I don't know. And also if you look here, I have here this shape actually separated into two parts. So if you look, for example, we have the foreground shape, and then we have everything else. And the reason why I have this is that, for example, in this animation, actually very important, the thing is that I need to put this ball in between these lines. So that's why I actually had to separate them into two parts, so that I can put this part of the shape in front of the ball, and the other part behind the ball. Anyway, now when I have it, let's move to the pain of our life, After Effects. I'm kidding, it's such a nice and easy software. Kill me. So in After Effects, I will be less detailed here. I will explain the general process, because probably 90% of you don't know how to use After Effects, and the ones that do know how to use After Effects, they will understand it anyway. Right. So I used here this video. As you can see, it's a sphere, kaleidoscopic sphere, which is just very beautiful and colorful. And I got it, it's a paid element, you know, I got it from this website, Envato Elements. And I mean, this is not sponsored, but one of the cool things that they have is that if you go to 3D, you can actually find lots of, like, for example, if I write sphere, you can find lots of cool 3D objects here. Or in my case, it was more like a stock video, because it was a video, obviously. So I found here like lots of cool videos lots of cool spheres that I could actually put inside his head. And in general, the website is not that good. I mean, it's like the images here are shitty, like the images here are so bad. It's like they're not artsy at all. Image search is horrible. It's like, I mean, free websites like Unsplash offer much better images, trust me. But the good thing about this one is that you can get here stock videos, and you can get here 3D things. These are the only two good things about this website. And that's why I have to pay for it, because I need this, even if the website is not so good. But anyway, so I also got this energy ball, which I will put on top of the previous ball to create even better effect. And let me show you how it works. First of all, I need to animate the position of two parts of the body, left and right part, obviously. And I mean, in After Effects, you can just animate position, and you can tell, for example, After Effects that, okay, on second number 0, make sure that this part of the head, basically the left part, let me show you where it is here. This part of the head is located here. And then on second number 4, make sure that the left part of the head is here. And then After Effects is automatically going to animate it from second 0 to second number 4, and basically move it. So that's why it's pretty easy. I did the same with the right part of the head, and obviously, as you can see, I imported these parts of the shape. So again, just to show you. So for the energy ball, I actually had to use, so this is a normal option of the energy ball, and as you can see, it doesn't fit in. And that's why I actually used blending mode, add blending mode, in order to blend it with the ball and leave only the light here without the colors. And that's why, for example, when I do this, it looks pretty cool. As you can see, if you look here at the ball is pulsating, you know, it's like poop, puts, like a heart. The way I did is by actually animating its scale. So for example, let me show that to you, my dear friend. So if I look at the scale here animation, as you can see, I have here many points on, for example, On this point, as you can see, the scale is 65%. And then if I go a little bit further, now scale is 75%, and then back, and it's again, now it's back again to 65%. So what happens is just going bigger and smaller, and that's how I animated, just making bigger and smaller, and it looks like it's pulsating. The reason why it's pulsating is that to match the song. So for example, if you listen to the song, I mean, okay. So it's pulsating together with the song. Every time the song is like doops, 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 and the ball is also like this. As you can see, in the middle of the ball, not in the middle of the song, I added this glitch effect. And for this one, actually, what I had to do, I took the same kaleidoscopic ball. Who created that name? I mean, why? And if you look here, I did a VR glitch effect. So basically, this is a normal ball. And when I add VR glitch effect, I can actually control the glitchiness, and I can make it really glitchy or less glitchy and so on. And you can actually create pretty cool stuff with this, as you can see. And it basically, what it does basically, it just takes your ball, it just separates it into little shapes, and then just makes the shapes chaotic. So it's basically the same shapes, but just very, very chaotic. And every time I do that, every time I show the glitchy part, I also have here this song, which is specifically for the glitchiness. Here, it's like a bzz effect, bzz. Here, it's this one. Every time there is a glitch, that's the song I put, and I cancel the other song, and to make it look, of course, realistic. So bzz. The last part here is to animate the background. As you can see, if you look here, the colors of the background are constantly changing, and this is probably the easiest thing out of all of this. You just use hue saturation effect. So the thing that when you have hue saturation in Photoshop, you can just change the colors, right? But in After Effects, you can change the colors, and you can also record the change of the colors, which means that, for example, let me show this to you. After Effects, I told After Effects that on second number 0, this is the hue. Basically, as you can see, I can change it. So this is basically the hue. So these are the colors on second number 0. And then on second number 10, if you look here, it's 5x, which means what happens is that it goes through all the hue colors 5 times and animating them. So basically 5 times the circle is circling through all the colors. As you can see, every time I change the circle, the colors are changing, and it's doing it 5 times, and that's how it's animating the video. Pretty cool, right? So again, just basically hue saturation effect. So again, all the stuff that we talked about, the head is getting open, the background is always changing the colors, this thing is pulsating, the ball, and then we start seeing here this cool energy effect, I don't know how to call it, around the ball. And then we see here this little glitchy effect together with the song. Let's just listen to this. You get it, right? Anyway, and then and also one important thing, when the head opens, the song is getting louder, and when the head is closing, the song is getting more silent. The idea behind the artwork is that, you know, when the song is stuck in your head and you cannot get rid of it, and that's basically how it looks like. So if you open the head, it's like very loud, and when you close the head, it's not that loud because the song is inside his head and not outside. You see? Genius. That's it for this video, my dear friendsiders. I really hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and kiss the screen. Okay, you don't have to do the last one, but anyway, I will appreciate anything that you do. Thank you, my dear friendsiders. Check out my classes. Love you guys. See you in the next video.